This game here is a prime example why I think the Bluezone needs to be changed. This is a game where I had dropped initially as soon as I was able to drop. I dropped right to the ground immediately and started looting. This is Miramar, obviously. I went through everything I could, found all the pieces I could. I ended up with a Mini 14, I think, and a UMP when this is all said and done. But at this point, I've got a level 3 backpack, level 1 armor, no helmet. So I'm not done looking, really. I gotta find some kind of helmet. But I'm not too worried about it at the moment. That means Bluezone's almost here, but I've got a vehicle. I found it. So usually that means no problem, but you'll see why here in a little while. It is a problem. It's, by the way, the very first Bluezone. I just found my helmet and my vest there. So I'm ready to go. But, pretty good kit. Mini 14, 8x scope. I got a UMP with 4x there. So, not a bad kit at all. Got a Bronco. It's pretty much ideal for Miramar here. It's the best vehicle, I think, besides a buggy, really. Arguably better because it takes hills better. It does better on the, taking shock. The first problem you'll notice, obviously, Bronco does not climb hills for crap as far as speed. It tops at about 50 at that hill there, and the Bluezone just took off and left me. So right now I'm just kind of trying to look at the topographical map and navigate through the zone itself, trying to miss the big mountains and make sure I don't flip. It doesn't 100% work out on this run, but I mean that's pretty typical with Miramar. It's very difficult to keep your vehicle completely straight at all times unless you stick to roads, which as you can kind of see is not really viable because the Bluezone's again running away from me, not following a road. I'm doing my best to stick to the flattest land I can, trying not to overuse my nitros because I know I'm going to have a tank of gas, but again, half a tank of gas has never let me down on any other situation, so usually I can make it. Now this is a part where I'm honestly not sure if I would have been better off going through the town or not. I mean, nobody's here, obviously, but I decided to go up. I'm not really used to this area, but I went up into the mountains. That may have been a mistake, but it looked like it was a shorter path. And honestly, yeah, probably would have been better going through town now that I look at it. But it's difficult even to say. I mean, you never know when you're going to have ambushes through town, so I generally try and avoid them anyway. But this part really wasn't anything that slowed me down too terribly. I mean, I'm still making good time. It's just kind of burning up a lot of fuel. And there's my mistake right there. But I have a first aid, so I go ahead and get myself back up. And we head back out. I do make a mistake here just for a second, but my correction actually kind of makes up for it. I run up on the hill, and I gain momentum coming down with NOS, and I think honestly that probably saved me gas until I hit this unfortunately parked Volkswagen here. Now, rocks and things are a huge problem in Miramar. Like, they pop out of nowhere. It seems like right there I had to jerk the wheel to avoid hitting that. It was just ridiculous, it seems. And it looked pretty rocky, honestly, from my first person view, but that probably was a little flatter going that way. But again, I can't even see the Bluezone anymore. It's gone. I've been running as hard as I can, trying to take the best routes, trying not to hit anything or take too much delay, and I can't even see it anymore. It's all the way out by the, I think that's water plant or power plant or something. I don't know. So I'm still running pretty hard. I got a good amount of life still. I mean, first zones shouldn't be that damaging, but I mean, Miramar is friggin' ridiculously huge. I mean, look at all that distance I still got to cover. There's a guy over here. I'd actually spot this guy a little bit later. Actually coming up right here, I think. Yeah, I slid a little bit there. Slowed me down, but again, that's not a huge loss. I should have still been able to get clearly, into the zone at that point. Now, here's one of the huge problems with vehicles right now. I'm trapped because if I jump out, I'm too low on life, I'll probably die. And the brakes don't work when you run out of gas. So I literally cannot slow down or stop. I had to wait until it was slow enough I was certain I wasn't going to take damage and jump out and run. I should have put away my weapon. Again, hindsight, but you know, I thought trying to get into the zone. That's all I really wanted to do. And yeah, I make it about that far. So that's the end of my game. I never fired a shot at anybody. I only saw one person. All I did the entire time was run from a blue zone, and even though I had a vehicle, I never caught it, and it ran out of gas just trying to get it. So that's why I think the blue zone is garbage right now. I think it needs to be slowed down substantially. I saw some patch notes where they were going to slow it, but they're also going to start it earlier, which honestly, in this particular instance, would have also ended up causing the same situation because it took me until like right until the blue zone got there before I found the helmet of any kind, and I won't even if I'm in a neutral loot spot, I have to have armor, I have to have helmet, and I have to have a weapon. Otherwise, there's no reason to continue on in the game. You really have to have those things before you can actually engage anybody.